Welcome to the Sent and Bent podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Katy, who is Will's girlfriend, amongst many other great things. And today we're going to get right into it because Will has a hard time talking about serious stuff. He's just always goofing around.
What do you mean?
I'm genuinely curious how you guys met and who you are.
Okay, let's get into it.
And then we're going to get into the swindle stories too, because I know that he got you into riding street bikes, and if you need to be
a couple months we knew him.
By someone.
He built me a bike.
Yeah, that was like the first thing I knew. Actually, do you want to hear my side of the story?
I would love to hear your side of the story.
I'm actually very excited
I'm
to hear
really
this
nervous.
man's side.
So Will was in like the worst swindly relationship.
Oh, I met the girl.
And I had to help him get out of that situation because all of his accounts were hacked and craziness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he met you, like, he was just like really into you right away.
He was.
Uh-huh.
He was.
And he was like, man, this girl's so cool, man. And I'm like, all right, what's cool about her? I'm glad you met someone like that's actually cool. And he was like, she goes through windshields, man.
Oh, my ridiculous video.
Yeah, you were on Ridiculousness?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I ever knew about you. I just saw you get yoinked through a windshield.
That's the first thing I ever knew about her. Like, she was like, hey, what's up? Here's a video of me going through a windshield.
I don't even know what brought about that conversation, but
You just sent it to me.
did I?
Yeah, like right off the bat. Like, I met you on Tinder. We set up a date, racing go-karts.
And I beat you.
You sent... No.
I won that race.
When I see this video that was on Ridiculousness, though, it almost looks like you did it on purpose.
We did do it on purpose. That was the whole point.
So what happened?
Okay, so the story goes, I was trying to sit on the seat and slide down it like a slide. So my friend would slam on the brakes and I would be at the top of the seat and slide all the way down. But for my, I don't know what went wrong. Oh, I do know what went wrong. I put my feet very high on top of the seat. And when she slammed on the brakes, obviously they caught on the seat because I have like, what's the thing on the body? What is it called? What are shoes? Rubber on the seat. So it like sticks.
Yeah.
So then I just flew forward and shattered her windshield with my head.
Do you want to know how Will told me the story?
What'd he say? Will's
Do you
story.
remember, man?
I don't remember. How did I tell you?
The conclusion is the same.
Yeah.
But I even saw the video and I was like, what was she doing? Like, oh, her brother does wheelies on mopeds, and she was like filming out the window without a seatbelt of her brother doing wheelies, and then they had to hit the brakes and she went through the windshield.
I don't know where he crafted that story from.
Well, it's kind of the same story. You were filming.
It was the same story. She was filming.
Yeah.
And I probably said she was probably filming someone like her brother doing wheelies, and then they stepped on the brakes, and she was supposed to slide down, but right into the window.
Right into the windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your side of the story meeting, Will? That's how I was introduced to you.
I met him on Tinder. The thing that really struck out to me is he was so kind, because Tinder boys are just Tinder boys.
I could imagine.
He's
And
so kind.
He is. He's really just a gentleman, and that's why I wanted to like go on a date with him, because he seemed so genuine and nice.
Did he show up on the first date just covered in Subaru grease?
No, but he showed up in his lifted Subaru.
With the turbo out the hood?
No, the turbo wasn't out the hood yet, but
Yeah, right when I made it. I just like, drove it there right after I built it and went on that date.
yeah. So he showed up at my house with the lifted Subaru, and he did text me on Tinder, and he was like, we should go get dinner. And I was like, no, that's boring. Like, let's go do something fun. Let's go race go-karts. And I didn't even know that he was doing grind hard or any of this. So I was kind of setting myself up for this go-kart thing, because he's pretty good at driving go-karts. I'll give him that. But
Oh, You
Yeah.
lost.
I mean,
She thinks she won, but I get text messages from this go-kart place, and they're like, I'm like in the club. Like, I have such a good record there that I am literally get text messages of them inviting me to like exclusive races. So there's no way she won if they're sending me the text messages.
I don't know.
Well, unless you're the one who put your number on the thing since you paid for the date.
No, I definitely won. I was laughing people. There's
I
no...
don't believe you.
I don't know.
on,
I think
man.
the second time we went go-karting, you won. But the first time I
And I
had
brought
you.
that Elmo helmet. It's like right when we got those helmet covers,
Really?
and
Yeah.
I put it on her helmet.
You showed up with the helmet on the first date.
He
Yeah.
did. He did. I took a picture in it because I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
It is
Funny.
cute.
It is pretty cute.
It's a cute little helmet.
Yeah.
It fits Will so good.
I fancy myself as an Elmo. Elmo.
It's really who he is.
It really is.
It's like when we bought those, because I showed him, we were on the list of helmet covers. Mm-hmm. And we're like, all right, there's Santa Claus, there's the blue Elmo. It's Cookie Monster. Is that?
Yeah, that's Cookie
Yeah.
Monster.
the blue
That's
Elmo.
not a blue Elmo.
There's like a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
He saw the Elmo helmet. He's like, that one. And I was trying to talk him out of it because I was like, oh, I think for like thumbnails and the videos, like maybe we need two that are more different from each other. And he's like, I want the helmet, man. I've always wanted one of those. And I was like,
The helmet.
you have always wanted one of those?
It's on his wish list.
Who wants that?
He pulls it off though. It's cute.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
brought the helmet. You had your first date.
Went really well. I think didn't we get ice cream after, or was that like one of our other dates?
No, that was one of the times in the BRZ. We went and
Oh yeah,
something
huh?
in the BRZ and got ice cream. But,
And then the second date we went to an escape room.
yeah, with my sister and her friend, our friend Chevy.
I have a side of that story too.
I would like to hear that side.
Yes. What is all of your dates, man? Because you were always excited and telling me about your dates.
Aw, he's
And you were like-
excited.
He asked me, he was like, oh yeah, her worst fear is to be kidnapped. And I
And then he
was
takes me
like,
to Nicaragua.
so I was like, oh, okay. Why did you tell me that? Like, do I need to know what your girlfriend's
Biggest fear is.
biggest fear is when you've been dating for like a week? And he was like, so I'm going to take her to an escape room that simulates being kidnapped and I'm not going to tell her about it.
Yeah, he told me like a little bit like right before we were gonna go. He's like, they're gonna put a bag over your head and they're gonna take you somewhere. And I
yeah,
was like,
and she didn't believe
"What?"
me. We show up to the place, and the first thing they do that we sign waivers that are like, if you're hurt or kidnapped, like, sucks
It's on
for
you.
Yeah, and we sign these waivers. First thing they do, put bags over our heads, and they're like, all right. It was amazing.
But only Will thinks, okay, this is my girlfriend's biggest fear. Let's do it
That's exactly
for
what
the
he thought.
second date.
I'm all about conquering things right off the bat.
If she can't handle her deepest fear with you, then maybe she can't handle it.
Exactly.
I guess that's what his thought process was.
Yep.
Wow.
So we did that, and then I got her into street bikes.
Yeah, how did that go?
It went great. It's
Love my bike.
Yep.
She's kind of broken right now,
She
but
is kind of broken right
Yeah.
now because yours truly built it from the ground up.
loose bolt Willie.
Yeah. It's a little broken. But
So he got you hooked on street bikes.
Well, I've always liked bikes before him. I just never had the money to buy one. And he just was like, I just crafted you one instead. And I was like, oh,
Nice.
thank you.
That's very nice.
It was very random of him.
He always tells this story, and we've never got him to really tell us. There's one time where I think he's on his 600, and he had you on the back, and you're wearing a motorcycle helmet.
remember the first, we went from the skate park to
Oh, yeah.
Analanos. And I was catching some good speed. I think we were doing like 150 on the highway because she was slipping off like crazy. Like every time we hit another gear, it'd pop a little bit and she'd go,
You try being on the back of a 600 and having you as the driver. It is a different type of sport.
That would be, I would never do that, ever.
That's
it would be the most terrifying experience you could possibly imagine.
It was pretty scary. I got off and I was like, I don't know if I want to get back on. But it was really fun. Like, after, you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to it.
She's a menace like you.
I know. It's amazing.
Once we hit 150, now every time we go that fast, it doesn't faze me at all.
You seem kind of like nothing would faze you.
Not really, not like that. I mean, for the first time, obviously, it was scary because I'm on the back of a motorcycle going 150 miles an hour, but...
You're a menace.
Now it's fun.
Can you hear them in the headphones?
Yeah.
It seems like neither of you guys make good decisions, to be honest.
But we do now.
We do.
We do.
We're changed.
We're I mean, you got to think about this. We're successfully living on our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Now.
We have a cat.
We have a cat.
Isn't that like baseline expectations for being 22?
No, not in our age group. Not in our generation.
A lot of your friends still just like live with their parents and not have jobs. And
Yeah. Most of our friends are in school or like just not really.
Is that why there's the labor crisis? Like no one
Yeah,
works.
our generation is quite different than like a lot of generations. Like most people don't have their own apartments, their own homes, or like know how to cook. I'm learning how to cook. I'm quite the chef in the kitchen now.
Yeah, I see you show up with pasta with red sauce to work.
That's because I want it every single.
We've been having this dilemma. I ask her what she wants for dinner every single night. Pasta with red sauce every night for the last week.
I have seen you show up with some curries, and it seems like you guys are being adults.
Yep.
But you know
We
what's
are.
funny? You guys are the only people I know of your generation, pretty much. So that's how I have to gauge Gen Z.
We need to get him in the loop. We
We
need to
do.
show him
Yeah.
to the rest of the generation.
I was like, well, what does Katy listen to? Like, what are the kids listening to these days? And he was like, The Doors. And I was like, The Doors? I was like, that is not what I thought was coming from Gen Z.
No, not the Doors. Like Suicide Boy. I mean, it depends on the person. Everyone has their own.
She listens to the kind of music I listen to, like
Just
the
sad
ones on
boy
my
music?
stories and stuff. Yeah,
I
but
listen to a
little
lot of
different.
like indie alternative.
Oh,
mostly.
okay.
I would say I listen to a lot of indie alternative.
Well, when I asked your boyfriend what you listen to, he's like, The Doors, Led Zeppelin.
I like those bands too.
Yeah, she likes those.
I grew up on that.
She
So
has gotten me out of like sad boy Subaru music and into like more
yeah.
medium classical rap.
Well, I met you. You're always on the sad boy music. I think.
Always. That's all that I played in my lifted Subaru.
Yeah.
Because I was blowing head gaskets every week.
You just were sad, and
Yeah.
you had to have something be the soundtrack to your
Exactly.
actual life.
That's exactly
Yep.
what it was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How, I think you're the only reason Will got out of his Subaru debt.
Well, I tried to convince him.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. He was just always at the shop, which I didn't like because I wanted to hang out with him more.
Like always. I used
Always
to,
at
you
the
know,
shop.
I used
Yeah.
to spend
He'd
all
come
my
to grind
time.
hard and then immediately go to the shop till
Try to
like
fix his car.
12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'd go to the shop and I'm like looking at what he's doing. And I'm like,
This sucks.
what are you doing all day? Like, is this really what you spend all
the
day
same
doing?
thing he did the day before because he broke it again.
Exactly. Like his yellow car, rest in peace, yellow car. We still love her, but we were sanding it one time and he's like, we have so much to sand. I'm like, why are you putting in this much work for this car? Like, what is the outcome? And he's like, babe, it's going to be so sick and fast. And I'm like, I trusted the vision. I was like, dude, it makes you happy, but I think he just kind of realized that he was wasting a lot of his time.
I came to the realization, I don't think it was a waste of my time.
It
I don't
wasn't.
think you came to a realization. He said that you showed him how much money he was spending.
Yeah,
and he hadn't actually seen it on paper.
We
before.
sat down and I was like, because he was really stressing about his bills. I was like, okay, let's sit down and let's write down all of your finances on a piece of paper and let's
Oh, no.
let's write down what you spend the most money on. Subaru.
Yeah.
Pretty much no money on anything
Nothing
else.
else was,
Like, the
everything was
rest-
so cheap. And
Yeah.
it was just Subaru gas, Subaru parts, Subaru head gasket stuff. I'm like,
Has he ever told you how much money he put into that car?
I didn't even want to know because
Do
I
you
know
wanna
it's
know?
a big number.
I know.
Tell me the number.
You want to tell
You
him?
tell.
Over $40,000. Just the
William!
the wing was $4,000 on eBay. The carbon fiber wing. And I was like, does it look any different than non-JDM one? And he said, no. But this one is from Japan, is what he told me.
Yeah, and I had the whole inside of a Bug-Eye that was the Japanese side drive, you know? You know how we're on the left side and it's
Yeah.
way cooler if you're on the right side because you have to back up through McDonald's parking lots. Well, I got the whole like front clip at one point and I had it cut off and yeah, it just got out of hand. So
It just got so out of hand.
it really did.
And it was also, he's always breaking down. And like, I just never knew if he was going to make it to work, if he wasn't going to make it home from work.
We never knew either.
I never knew.
I didn't know if he was
And
going
I
to not
wanted
make
him-
it to work because he got arrested or his car didn't work or your car caught on fire twice and that's why he didn't come to work.
Yeah.
Like any other boss at any other job would be like, oh, this guy's lying. He's a slacker. He probably was out too late last night.
Literally.
But when Will calls you and he's like, yeah, man, my car's on fire, but I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to jerry rig it together.
Well, I was in kind of a predicament because I had to choose between him riding a street bike every day or him driving his Subarus because he wasn't going to give up either of them.
But she did give me kind of like a, what would you call that?
Ultimatum.
Yeah. She
Ultimatum?
gave me an ultimatum that I have this silver Subaru and I've been putting a lot of work and time and money into it in the back end while I'm driving my Honda Civic. And she said, if this one breaks, then you just kind of give up the Subaru stuff. So I'm building this. This is called Bulletproof 1.0. And it's a bulletproof Subaru.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Those exist.
Okay.
Yep. And if I
Does it
last
have
a month,
does
then
it
I
have-
can have as many Subarus as I want outside the apartment, she said. Like
if it has modifications, it's going to blow up.
it has so many
It's
modifications.
She sounds
gonna
like she
blow up.
knows more about Subarus than you do.
Yeah, but
Listen, Subarus are reliable when you don't touch them, when they're just stock.
Maybe
But Will's
not.
like, I want turbo and it need to
they're
go
so
fast.
slow if you don't touch them, though. So it's not
Yeah.
fun.
Do you notice how she uses her Will talking dumb voice when she talks about
Yeah, I
Subarus?
know. It's ridiculous. Because I feel like I'm quite intelligent when it comes to that section of my life. So I've touched so many Subarus you wouldn't even believe.
Oh man. Yep,
Yeah.
you'll have that.
You'll
you
have
thought
that
of
on those bigger jobs.
Any recklessness moments?
I forgot. I was trying to think about that.
Got to keep it on the back burner. Well,
Okay, I'll keep it on the burner.
I did ask the good people
Okay.
of Grind
I'm
Hard
scared.
Plumbing Company YouTube channel if they had any questions for you.
Scared to see what they say.
Well, this is the thing. Because they don't know a single lick about you
No.
except for the gambler,
They don't. That's all they saw me in that
Yeah.
video.
which was a great time.
The gambler.
You went over the bars how many
Twice,
times?
3 times maybe.
There was a pit bike there, and she was wrecking it.
Wrecking the pit.
Properly
And she
wrecking it.
she told all of us that she was like good at riding pit bikes.
Okay, that was when I was like 8.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I was telling Will, because we were driving the mini truck behind you, going through the dust, and I was seeing you like go way too hard on the front brakes for a dusty environment. And I was like, didn't you say she like rides bikes? And you were like, street bikes, man, that's so different. Like you actually do use the front brake on a street bike.
Yeah.
But in the dust on a dirt bike, no sir.
Yeah.
No ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my bad.
Yeah.
The dust was the biggest thing for me too, because I couldn't see. If I was behind anyone, then it's just like
And sand.
can't see.
You
And
never
sand,
front brake.
sand is just like slick.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is your overall impression of the Gambler?
I love it. I want to go back. It's
Yeah?
so cool there. Yeah.
Nice.
I li-
That's my same impression.
I like the what they're doing too, picking up trash. I really enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Not just like driving around doing stupid things. They're like helping the environment.
Yeah, it's like you get to do both. Part of me thinks that it's like, well, those trails, the Oregon one specifically is super duper cool because you're picking up all kinds of trash, like so much trash, like world record breaking amount of trash.
Yeah.
Like they get in the news for this stuff. And in Oregon, they charge you to throw stuff away. So that's why people just drive out into the middle of the desert
And just throw it?
leave their old boat.
Oh, so does
I didn't know
Gambler
that.
pay for it to be
Yeah.
thrown away? Wow, that's really awesome,
Yeah,
actually.
I think they're sponsored by Sons of Smoky, which is a Ford thing.
Oh.
Like Ford cars sponsor for that. I think that's where some of the trash money comes from. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's cool.
Isn't that what Gambler was trying to do? Like, because it wasn't going to get approved, and then they were like, we're just going to turn it into something positive so it does get approved. Like, I saw, like, I was reading something about it.
I don't know. Tate runs it. He started the OG Gambler
OG
500.
Gambler.
And it was clean up trash since the get-go, to my understanding.
Huh.
I think it's like, hey, this is fun, but let's give it purpose.
Yeah.
And then it found purpose, and then it became way bigger and way more people could get behind it. So, yeah. There's people who come early to get the good trash. That's
I know, that's amazing.
really early.
We
like,
saw a lot of people with some guy came back with that RV. Remember that?
The whole RV filled with trash.
Yeah, that was
But
crazy.
these people
Insane.
go days early to get the good trash before other people. Like, that's a cool movement.
That
I
is a
like
cool
it. I can
movement.
get behind it.
Yeah.
So, number one question here by Ian Bod. He says, is she equally concerned as everyone else that Will not make it to 30?
No, I have faith in him.
Yeah?
I know he's goofy and I know he's a jokester, but he's smart too. And
But
like,
what about the other day when he comes home? Oh, yeah, we were riding on top of trains and then we had to walk back 16 miles to our car.
well, he shouldn't have gone on a train for 16 miles. He knew that. But I don't know. I just think there's a lot more common sense than he might portray on the internet. And I think people overlook that sometimes.
You have more comments.
That is
But I've
nice.
done some of these things with this man.
I also think he has 5,000 million guardian angels because the amounts of times he should have died and hasn't yet is just like, he's never going to now. He's always going to be alive.
That's what I
okay.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you make it through a threshold,
Yeah.
you kind of just don't. You know?
Yeah.
There's people like that.
I am concerned some days, but I don't have a feeling that he's going to.
You don't seem like a big stressor.
I don't.
Like if he hasn't texted you in 3 hours. And
No, it's whatever.
there was this one really good one where we're going to do the 100-mile challenge in the Changli. And he got a text from you. The best girlfriend text I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, boy.
It just said, "Why did you bring your sleeping bag to work?" Question mark.
Well, I thought he was leaving that day, but he was leaving the next day. So I was kind of sad that he didn't say bye to me, but he was just bringing it to work. That's the
Yeah.
context of that text, actually.
Yeah.
Like only Will would leave with a sleeping bag and not tell his
That's all
girlfriend.
he had. He just walked out with his sleeping
To
bag.
be fair, the day before, I did tell you that I was going on a trip. And
At
then
some point.
at some point.
At some point, never specified any
Yeah.
dates.
Oh man. This is interesting. Do cops ever recommend rethinking your relationship situation?
What?
Huh? That would indicate
Yeah.
that she has to be in contact with police. And I don't think she really is. She's
I do want to be a forest ranger soon, so that might make me a cop. A forest cop.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a cool gig. What makes you want to do that?
I want to do wildlife conservation and hang out with all the wild animals and
Nice.
rehabilitate them.
Nice. I've met some really cool people who build trails for the Forest Service and like clear trail. And it seems like a cool gig because you're like out on trail for like 20 days, just cleaning up the trail and
Yeah.
like cutting down trees that fell over on the trail and stuff like that. And then you have big gaps of time where you're not working too. It's like when you're working, you're really working. When you're off,
I think
you
I
have
would
the
like that.
opportunity to do a lot of other stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think this question too, like as people get to know you, they'll realize that you're just as rowdy as this man.
Yeah, I
So,
can't
like-
believe there's people out there that think that I would date a normal person.
I think that is the impression, though.
Yeah.
But it's like if a cop is gonna pull you over or whatever, you're gonna be on the back or on a bike right next to him, and the cop isn't gonna be like, "Have you thought about this?" The cop's gonna be like, "Both of you,
Yeah,
jail."
exactly
now."
like that. Exactly like that.
Okay, let's see.
These are some good questions.
Yeah, Is your driving record any better?
As far as like actual driving, yeah, it's clean. I don't have.
Yeah?
All I have is like a speeding ticket. I think
Only one?
only one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
that's
pretty
really
amazing.
nice.
The amount of things this woman does in a car, illegal. Straight to jail.
What do you do that's illegal in a car?
I drift my Honda around.
She like
everywhere.
pulls the handbrake in like normal intersections, like in the public, going like 40 miles an hour. Just
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, that's
You just-
another ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Ridiculousness thing.
that she does.
And you just haven't been caught.
No.
So you're just better at being sneaky than this man.
She
Yeah.
just drives more normal cars than this man.
Yeah, your car, they hear you from a mile away.
Yeah.
They literally pull you over before they know what you did wrong.
Yeah, they're like, why does it sound like this?
Yeah. Yeah. They all seem to be around one common theme.
Will's recklessness. And why the devil you're
Well,
dating a man like me.
Everyone's so concerned that you're gonna die.
I know.
But I don't like putting that into the universe. I don't want you to
No.
die.
How many times have you thought to yourself, I might die when you're with Will?
Not that much. I think we both are on the same page most of the time, so we're not really thinking about it. Besides Nicaragua, that's when I thought I might die. But
Oh, shoot. Do you also agree with Will that he has actually turned the page in his life and will be safer and more responsible driving on the road? Or is this a silly willy nonsense? Should we expect more two-wheeled near-death stories and Turbo's Subaru shenanigans?
depends. I think if he gets another street bike, his word won't last very long.
Huh? Don't tell this man that.
I think that, because even when we started tracking him with the app, he did respect it on weekdays because that was the rule. But on weekends, I did see some. It gives me speed notifications when he rapidly accelerates or decelerates. And I think the fastest I saw was 164 on the app. That was on a
nice.
weekend when he was
On
out
a
with his friend.
weekend.
It was like a couple weekends before you got run over by the truck.
Yeah.
But at least on the way to and fro work, which was the rule, he did have his tracker on and was
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
the speed limit.
If the tracker's on, he'll be okay. But on the weekends, it's fair game.
But you don't think he's a changed man enough to not do that in the spring?
really think I'm a changed man?
He's fully convinced that
I've
he
been
won't.
very changed lately.
He said all he needs to do is race a Lamborghini with a ruckus, and then he's fine. He
Here-
said that he's outgrown speeding on other people's contraptions. He said he's maxed that side quest.
Oh.
Do you believe that?
I don't know.
Sounds like a hard no
What
to
the
me.
heck?
She's just being nice. That sounds like
This
a
is
hard
ridiculous.
no. Oh,
Oh,
man.
man. Well, no. That was like a two-part question. Do you think I'm changing, though? I mean,
Yes.
you gotta, like, kind of say that I am changing.
you
There's
are.
a lot of things that have changed.
Yeah.
And it's weird that a lot of the stuff you do is on camera because if you do actually change,
They will see it.
your journey will be very well documented between the YouTube videos and this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has meeting Will changed how she views the future? That's a good one.
That is a good one.
The future in like just our lives or
Your life. This is directed just to you. Like, do you think differently about life in your future, or
I do think differently about YouTubers and famous people because before I met Will, I've never been around anything like that.
you think we're famous people?
I mean, like to most people, you guys are, but to me now, I'm like, no, they're just guys. Like But before Will, I was like, oh, famous people are so different than everyone else. And people with YouTube were just like, they just have
detached from reality or
yeah.
something.
And then when I met Will, it was like, oh, he's so genuine and humble. And like, he's just another person doing another thing, which kind of changed like the way I see things.
That's a good rec.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is good.
I guess I just never like think of myself as famous.
Same
but
with
then
Will.
like when you hop out of a plane not wearing any grind hard gear
Mm-hmm.
and like 3 people recognize you from your voice,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I guess this million people watching our videos is actually a
Like
million
real,
people.
yeah.
It's really weird to like see that and think about that.
Well, I forget he's famous, and then we'll be in public one day and we'll be like, Will from Grindhard. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, because
Is
to
that
me,
annoying?
well, to me, it's just like, oh, hey, I'm going to work. And now I'm like, in my mind, it's just so like, oh, he's just going to work. I don't even think about what he's doing. Like, he's on camera for millions of people.
Yeah.
And I don't realize that until I'm like doing a podcast or people come and notice us or like just so many things where I'm like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Did people recognize you after the gambler video?
No, I don't want to be recognized. Like, I want to be like,
Low key.
yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I was behind the camera so much
Uh-huh.
the first couple of years. I didn't want to be recognizable, and I still don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I want to play with the toys.
Yeah.
And if you play with the toys,
Yeah.
you get filmed.
You
That's
gotta
the
be on
rule.
camera. Yeah, it's hard to get used to. I don't think I'll ever be comfortable on camera because it's just different
It's
to me.
different.
It really is. It's a different
Yeah.
feeling. And then reading what thousands of people all have an opinion on you, and you can just like look at it on your phone. So like
That's dangerous.
it's just a weird feeling. Like all these people are formulating so many opinions about you, but they've never met you.
Grindhard fans, though, like it is a very positive, healthy comment section compared to a lot of
Yeah,
other
it
YouTube
is.
Yeah.
channels.
You guys
like,
have a little family, and it's really nice.
yeah, like the same people. Like we have the names memorized, like Ameritude, and there's this guy with like a frog in his thumbnail that always comments, and like there's been people commenting on our videos since day one that are the same people, always very nice. Even if the build isn't like their cup of tea, they're still, hey, like I watched this video, support you guys, like looking forward to the next truck or whatever. There's a lot of people who are only into the trucks or only into the dirt bikes, you know.
Yeah.
But it is really positive, and I think that it's been so incremental, at least for me. Will kind of came on and we were already pretty known, so that
Yeah.
might have been a different experience for you. Like one day people are like, hey, you're the Swindle Willie guy, premium.
Yeah.
Weird because
Yeah, literally.
yeah, it was kind of weird because it did kind of happen from day one. Like I just showed up on the channel.
Yeah.
People honestly kind of didn't like me at first very much, but then like a month into it, I was getting recognized like at the gas station. I was like, what is this?
I genuinely always like it. It always makes me happy, and it always surprises me. It doesn't happen enough where I'm like expecting it. Like, oh no, if I go into this store, like it's never like that. It's like when you meet these people and you see the smile on their face, and you know that like you make them smile every week making a video, it makes you really happy. So
It's
it's
cool
like
seeing that.
super duper worth it, and it's super cool when people come up and like feel like they can
Like talk to you,
approach
like,
you and say hi, and,
And
we're just
everyone
people.
I've met has been super respectful and like
Yeah.
not
Yeah, same.
weird at all. Like everyone is really nice. And I saw it a lot because I was buying and selling cars in like a tuner like
Community.
Subarus.
Yeah.
So like I just got noticed every time I went to buy a car, which kind of made it hard to do that. But
It's
yeah.
hard.
It just changed a lot of things for me because I don't know. It's weird being out in public and people have been like, "Oh my gosh, Will," and I'm like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah, it's funny for me in Sandpoint because I grew up here and it's a small town. It's
Yeah, super small town.
like 4,000 people when I was growing up. And then, so when someone's like, hey, Edwin, I don't know if they recognize me from high school and I just
Yeah.
don't recognize them, or if they're
Yeah.
a Grindhard fan. And sometimes I've been wrong, like think they're a Grindhard fan. And I'm like, oh yeah, how's it going? Like whatever, like kind of like, oh, we finished the Barbie car, man. You should check it out. It's sick. And like, what? Like, what is the Barbie car, man? I was in your math class, and I'm like, oh.
That's pretty awkward.
Yeah,
that's very funny.
It's super funny. And then the other way too is funny too sometimes, where I'm like, oh, did we go to high school or something? Like if they're my age and we run into each other in Sandpoint, and they're like, no, man, I watch you on YouTube. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, you were in my math class.
Yeah, but I think for Ethan and I was so incremental. It's like I just didn't think much like of it because it was so incremental as we gradually became more and more popular.
Yeah.
But then once like dump him right into something,
doink.
And he's good on camera too. He's so comfortable on it. He's just like
he's a natural.
He's a natural.
He's just himself. He's getting better though, because the thing is, he's so himself on camera. It's kind of hard to get him to say, you know how he's not like the best explainer of almost anything.
Anything ever.
Oh, like if he comes to work and he's a little tired, and you're like, Will, why are you tired? He goes off on some tangent and like starts at the middle of the story.
I know. It does not make any sense.
That's how my timelines work.
Yeah,
they just don't align with your guys's.
I'm convinced he lives on a totally different timeline than anyone I've ever met.
He does. Because he like, I don't know. It's nothing like wrongdoing, or he doesn't like expect you to already know certain information. Like he just like is himself. And then it's whenever we do like an ad deal or like I want something specifically on camera, like, hey, Will, not everyone knows the difference between these two differentials. You should like describe it like this. And if I put words in his mouth, he's like,
it will shut me off.
He was talking to me about this last night.
He like stands like this with like frozen arms, and he's like, this differential works this way because it's different. And it's like, dude, just say it like yourself, you know? But he's getting a lot better.
It's so hard to do that, but it is something I'm learning and something you have to do when you're on camera. So.
And Steve and I are getting better at working with him, like letting him find it himself.
If you tell me, hey, people don't know about this differential, why don't you tell them about it? Then it's like, I'll be like, okay, like I'll explain it. Like I'm explaining it to a 3-year-old in my way. But if you're like, tell them it has a 444 differential line and eBay supplying it to us or something, I'll be like, no, I can't say that.
Electro & Co., who makes the battery packs we're always using.
I cannot say that name for the life of me.
Try it.
Electro & Co. But I can say it like that. But if I have to say, like, this battery's so nice, it's very nice and very large, and Electro & Co. did this and that, and I have to say it on camera, I can't. It's too much. But.
There's been like 30-minute intervals of just trying to say that name.
I think he was telling me about this the other day. He was like, everyone's trying to make me say something, and I don't know how to say it when someone tells me how to say something, and it was stressing me out, and I did it like 30 times, and I couldn't get it right. And then eventually I just said my own thing, and it was fine. And I was like, I'm
and
sorry.
Then I went on camera and did it. And I'm like, it kind of doesn't make sense because I wasn't the one doing the work. But sometimes I just got to hop in and explain it to the people.
You got to.
Because I don't know. I guess I see myself as like the creative director of Grind Hard now. And I'm always doing heavy research like on what works on our videos, what doesn't, what's fun to watch at the end of the day, what's not, like what other channels are doing in completely different categories. I watch YouTube trending every single day, like really study YouTube. And I have this vision in my head, and I'm also not the best with words. So if I'm not the best with words, trying to tell Will about the vision in my head that doesn't even exist and we don't even know if it's possible. But Will and I are the easiest to like get it.
You
like
guys go good really together.
I don't even need to say it. I'm like, what if it's this thing and this thing and we do it like this?
Yep.
And even if Will doesn't understand the reference material or all the research I did, like he just kind of gets it and goes with it. And like the changes we made to the podcast recently, like we didn't really talk about it that much. We just knew.
Yeah. And it just kind of worked out. Like our last podcast did really well.
Yeah.
So.
You guys kind of seem like that too. Like you can kind of like just put it out there and not even say the right words, but you get each other.
Yeah, we just flow.
You kind of have to be like that with me because
Yeah.
if we're regimented, man, it would not work out. Regiments, directions, not very nice.
Not very nice. Are you into cars?
I do like cars. I want a Miata one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of Miata?
94 sunburst yellow, 1.8 liter Mazda Miata.
So that answers your question.
Yes, sir.
That's very nice. I also very much like Miatas, but I think I might be a little too big for it.
You are pretty big.
Yeah.
You're a tall man.
You're perfect Miata size.
I know, that's what I'm
is
saying.
Will's pretty good Miata. He looks pretty big, especially when he's wearing a helmet. In a
Well,
Miata.
you saw me in the chops, Miata.
I don't
my
like what
first
he
time.
did to that Miata. He broke her.
It's pretty wrong, right?
Yeah,
It
I
was
can't
pretty
believe that.
right, honestly.
I should have bought a Miata years ago when they were $2,000, but
Yeah.
now a nice one's 10, 12, I swear.
And since they don't make them like they used to,
They don't.
this is probably only going to go up for
I
ones that
know.
are worth buying.
I know.
Yep. It's
So,
unfortunate.
It's
you
my
know.
biggest L. So I guess it's the S2K since it'll be actually worth the money instead of buying a $10,000 Miata.
Yeah. Except the VTEC boys have gotten their hands on those, and they either have big wings or cost $20,000 because they haven't been touched.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard world out there for
It is.
liking 90s cars.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like the
They're-
Subaru, we could get you into the early 2000s. and it'd be quite nice.
No.
I already had a sneak peek on what wise words of Katy is going to be today in this podcast coming up, and I think that probably won't happen. Let's see. Oh.
The way you guys are reading these questions is scaring me.
Oh no, it's just like a lot of them are similar, and we've already covered that.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do you encourage his behavior or try to calm him down?
I encourage it. Depends on
knew
the
that
behavior,
one.
though. It's different with
That
each
was
thing.
the only concern I had when he started dating you. I was like, oh, nice. Will really likes this girl. He'll calm down a little bit. And he was like, I built Katy this motorcycle and we were on the highway. She scared me because she just went full bore right off the bat before she really like learned how to use it.
It did scare me a little bit.
Did she just gun it?
Yeah, I felt like a father figure, you know? I made this motorcycle for her, and she was just like,
My mom and dad were so mad when he brought that home.
I bet.
They were like, what is this?
Yeah.
But they're cool with it now, I think. They trust me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're trying to get her onto like maybe like a Gixxer 1000.
No.
Did you just like it right away, or did you already have some motorsport experience, or what was it? Did you just,
Well, when I was a kid, I would ride dirt bikes with my brother, but that was when I was really small.
are you an adrenaline junkie?
Love adrenaline. I've been skydiving before. I like anything to do with adrenaline, I guess. But
So you just got on that bad girl and just dropped clutches.
yeah, exactly what I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like doing that. Like brand new motorcycles, haven't really been on it before. Like figure out the limits at the limit.
At the limit. Like that's
Yeah.
the only way you know.
I have this problem when I like ride a new bike, dirt bikes, where I just go too fast and slide off the road. Because it's like you find the
Me
limit
too.
the hard way.
You slide off the road
Yeah.
in the dirt bike.
Yeah,
I
well,
did
you're just
that.
like rummaging up some
Yeah.
gravel roads, max speeds, and then you know the road's like the back of your hand, but every bike kind of handles differently and brakes differently and has different levels of grips and conditions that day, and I just always end up finding that limit the hard way.
Yeah. I almost went into the ditch on my bike the first month I got it because it died on me when we were going on the back roads, me and two of my other friends. It was pitch black and they were already in front of me. And my bike just dies and my headlight goes out and I'm like trying to find the road. And then I like pull my phone out and I'm looking at the flashlight and it's like a little ditch like right there. And I'm just like sitting on the side of the road with my bike.
Nice. I remember that day.
Yeah.
Will got a text and he was like,
Yeah, I think he was with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was with me. And he was like, oh, Katie's bike died on the side of the road. I was like, is she okay? And he was like, oh, I didn't ask. And then hours go by and I was like, wait, why are you still here? Don't you need to go like get her out of the ditch? And you were like, what did you say? You're like, oh, she'll figure it out. She's with her friends.
Yeah, she's very capable, and I knew the friends that she was with, so I knew that I wouldn't get there in time, and Matt and Taylor would be able to handle the situation. So
Still though, if you're
They thought I'd crash because my
her
light
headlights
turned
went
off,
out, so-
and they were like, "Oh yeah."
I don't know. Your girlfriend texts you. My bike died and I went off the road. The next logical question is, are you okay, babe?
No, it's just like, let me see the bike. I think you said.
no, I did not. Say
Yeah,
that.
you
I
were
don't
like,
care
"Let me
about
see
that
the bike." I think you said, "Where are you?" or
Yeah,
something
I
like
said,
that.
"Where are you?"
Yeah.
Of course, I care a lot more about my girlfriend than the bike, but I also know that she's very capable, and I've watched this woman hit her head so hard skating, so I know she's built like a little acorn.
You watched
She's
me
not gonna
slam on
break.
my skateboard a couple
Yeah,
times.
she's not gonna break.
Well, this is from Nick. He's definitely a listener of past episodes because he brought up a lot here. There was a day where Will said, right when you moved into his apartment, you wanted goats. And so he's asking, does Will not like goats?
Will loves goats. He just doesn't think we can have them in our apartment.
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably
the
need...
We have a
Responsible
balcony.
decision.
We have a balcony. Like, we could put a big litter box out there. We'll just put hay on the ground out on the balcony, and we can have like at least 3 goats out there, and it would be fine.
3?
They're small little
This
dwarf
is
goats.
the problem. If you give her 1 foot of leverage,
Yeah.
she will go all the way. Like, it was the cat first, and now she's like, well, maybe... She told me this
Well,
yesterday. She
but
was like,
I have a new predicament besides the cat. So
Yeah, well-
I want to get a dog, and
Yeah.
he said we can't get a dog. So I have a better idea. We get a dog, but we get an older dog from the shelter who's gonna die soon.
That's just sad. I've thought the same
Well,
thing.
here it's not sad because the dog doesn't have to die in the shelter. He can die with a happy family.
yeah, so she's telling me yesterday, like last night, she like prods me while I'm trying to go to sleep, and she's like, hey, babe, I have a great idea. We just take these old dogs from the shelter and we bring them into our home and then until they die. And I'm like,
They'll die happy.
what do you mean? Like, that's so jank, man.
I think for the both of you got to end up with a place with some property someday.
That's what we're planning. I think we're saving up right now
Yeah.
for
Nice.
flipping a house in
Property,
Sandpoint.
yeah.
Because then you can have as many
Goats and
elderly
dogs.
dogs.
Horses.
Well, you know, Ethan's wife's going to get goats when she moves back here.
Yes, Kylie. I love her for that. She's already bringing home 2 cats, which is 1 more than I have. So she's winning.
She's winning. There you go. Huh? In the UK, people call Subarus belly button cars because everyone has a belly button. That is super true in Sandpoint. Every single person
That
has
is
a
nice. I'm
Subaru.
going to call them belly button cars from now on.
I
That's
really
amazing.
like that. Is that Australia? Oh, the UK.
I
Nice.
like that.
The sayings and little tidbits from Australians and people from the UK are the best.
Very nice.
What did we learn on Top Gear watching it the other day? Nice. I think I wrote it down on Ethan's dental papers. I just grabbed some papers because we were watching it at lunch, and we've been taking notes because we want to learn how to tell stories better. And we're writing these notes, and I'm like, what is this? I opened it up, and it was Ethan's dental records, and I was like, oh no.
Did he have any cavities?
I don't know, but there's a lot of Top Gear scribbles on there.
That's good stuff.
Oh, man. Let's see. Who drives when you go somewhere together?
Me.
Me.
No, Will's a passenger princess, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness.
I'd like to tell the internet that William is a passenger princess.
I
Always.
do like the passenger seat occasionally. Okay?
All the
Is
time.
this passenger
all the
princess
time.
thing a Gen Z thing? I've never heard that before.
Passenger princess is just like your boyfriend always is supposed to drive, I guess, and you're supposed to sit in the passenger like a princess. But that's
Oh.
Will. I drive.
Nice.
I like it, you know, if she puts her hand on my knee, I feel safe and I can just like relax.
You probably are a lot safer
It's
if she's
nice.
driving.
I like
No,
it.
I don't know about that.
Oh. I haven't driven with you, but I have driven with this man. You know the only rule every time we do a grind hard road trip? My wife doesn't care. Could care less. Like if Ethan's driving, Steven's driving, I'm driving. She's like, as long as Will doesn't drive, it's fine. I'll be like, oh, we're gonna go to the store for lunch. Okay, just make sure Will doesn't drive.
Which is weird because I am reckless, but I am very good at driving.
You are
I've
a
been
good
driving
driver.
for a very long time.
You just don't do it when I'm around.
Yeah, I get to choose my battles, you know.
Me too. I always usually have to drive because his car's broken down.
Yeah.
So I just got used to doing it.
Yes, this is true.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a really good reason.
It's true. Usually my cars are broken down. So I have to hitch a ride. Like, there was a time when, remember that Legacy that was here right when I bought it? It blew its head gasket?
Yeah, I
even
do
though it
remember
had
that.
head gasket paperwork and was from an elderly gentleman.
And then he fully rebuilt it wrong, and had to fully rebuild it again.
Yeah.
You dropped a bolt into the timing chain?
No, I didn't drop a bolt into the timing chain. What happened is I pulled it apart here, and then I realized that it was completely warped, and I had to remake it with sandpaper and glass. Because I wasn't about to pay for the machine shop to fix that. That is a costly bill, so I had to hand build it, and it took forever. So the whole time that was going on, I had to use my girlfriend to get around. She drove me everywhere, or like let me borrow her car. So it's very nice. Like 2 weeks.
Passenger princess.
Passenger
It was very
princess.
nice.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Become a passenger princess.
I'm a passenger princess
Are
on
you?
grind hard trips.
Really?
Yeah,
And
Ethan's
Ethan
always
likes driving.
Ethan loves driving.
He
though.
gets road sick if he's not driving.
That's fair.
Also, I think he just really likes driving. I
I
really
also-
like driving too. I feel like if I ever go anywhere with my friends, or I'm normally the driver, but Ethan's the driver, and normally he has the best, most reliable vehicles, so he naturally wants to drive his own vehicle.
I like driving, but my car is automatic, which isn't as fun because I used to have a manual, which was way more fun to drive.
That is
And
better.
nowadays, it's just kind of like
A grind
cruising
hard
along.
fan. I actually bought her old car.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why they bought that car.
Did they even know what was coming?
Had a rod through the bottom of the block.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was a front wheel drive Jeep Compass.
Front wheel drive Jeep Compass, man.
Yeah. It was quite the machine.
It looked like a Jeep, but it was only front wheel drive.
I didn't even know that was an option.
I didn't
thought all
know
Jeeps
either.
were
When I
four-wheel
bought it,
drive.
I just assumed it was four wheel, and then when I brought it home, my dad was like looking under. He's like, "This is front wheel." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh no!
I just bought it because it was a manual. That's the only reason I wanted it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some man that's a fan of grind hard just came and bought it, like right when we got back from Costa Rica, I think. Like
It
came
was sitting for that long.
Long.
Yeah.
It's been months before that.
Wow.
Even.
almost our whole relationship. I told Katie to put
right.
oil in it, and she didn't.
Oh.
And it blew up.
You'll have that.
On those bigger jobs.
Yeah. Well, whatever you got for it, you got to stash it away for the goat lot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Have you ever met a girl who doesn't like goats? We were theorizing on the podcast that there aren't any of those. Girls like goats is what the general.
If she doesn't like goats, don't trust her because that's just wrong not to like a goat.
Mad sus, as the Gen Zers would say.
That's mad sus.
It's sus.
Just sus.
Just sus.
Oh.
You're not real Gen Z.
Will
man.
okay, and when you listen to Will's lingo,
I hang
and
out
it's
with a whole bunch of older
it's
people.
so far away from like what actual people say. Like Will says bussin' all the time. No one says bussin' anymore. That's like
But
5
No,
years
I don't know
ago.
if anyone ever even said bussin'. I think that was just like in a handful of rap songs and then never went
Will
anywhere.
took it and flew away with it.
I
He
like
l-
bussin', dude.
Yeah, you had a moment
He
where
did.
bussin' is pretty much the only
Yeah.
word you said, but
yeah,
it didn't
I mean,
catch on.
say bussin', it just feels good in your mouth.
No,
bussin'.
it feels
I
dirty,
hate
like I
it.
said a bad word.
I hate the word. Whenever Will says it, we'll get food, and he's like, "This is bussin'. I'm like, appetite's gone.
That's what he says at restaurants.
Yeah, I'm like,
when we went to pick up the Mini Cooper, every single place we started to eat, that's bussin'.
Yeah, I can't.
And then even we got these like muffins at the grocery. We get into the limo. They are the worst muffins you could even imagine. They were like on the stale shelf that like only cost $2, and we just like loaded the boat. We went into this trailhead, middle of nowhere, so we could camp in the limousine. Will opens up those bad boys, takes one bite, and he's like, "This is bussin'." And then you could tell he didn't even want to swallow it. It's like he said it before he realized how bad they were. He like knew that he just said that, so he had to commit, and he was like,
I don't know where Will gets his lingo from, because I'll talk about Gen Z stuff to him. Like, I brought up Dr. Miami the other day, and a lot of my girlfriends, at least, know who Dr. Miami is, and Will was like, "Who's that?"
"Is that like a rapper?"
No, he's...
I don't know.
Dr. Miami does body modifications.
Yes, but he's really funny, and he has a TikTok, and he like posts Snapchat stories with like his clients. He's just like...
What are body modifications?
Like plastic surgery. He gives girls like big butts, but he's like funny. And he's like Dr. Miami, you know? Like, who doesn't know who Dr. Miami is?
I bet 50 to 100% of our viewers don't know who that is. I'm a guy. I shouldn't know who that is, man.
It's just like a normal thing. Like, I don't know. You're just very like... He's like you guys. When I talk to Will, he's like an old man.
Yeah, well, look who I'm hanging out with. Old man.
I'm an old man.
Like, we were watching a video.
I'm still a rootin' tootin' spring worm.
I don't know. Grandpa Ethan and Edwin, you guys, you're up there.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
Have you noticed how irresponsible I am? How can I be an old man?
They're pretty spry.
You guys are spry. You're in your prime.
I'm
You're
not
in your prime.
Gen Z or whatever the heck generation we are.
I don't know what generation
what would
you
I
are.
have to do to be younger?
I don't know.
See, that's the
See,
thing.
like, what categorizes us as old men?
You don't know who Dr. Miami is.
Oh. Is that it?
No, there's other things that I'm not thinking about on the top of my head, but so many things.
I picture old men like standing around a barbecue talking about different like...
That's what you guys do. You stand around Ethan's furnace and talk about cars.
Well, not cars. I was gonna say like the stereotypical for my generation, like you get married, you have kids, and then you start like either getting into like craft beers or whiskey, and then you talk about like lawnmowers and stuff. I hardly ever talk about that. Occasionally lawnmowers. Because I want to modify them into motorcycles. It's actually the other way around. This company made... Oh, no, this is going to make me sound old being excited about lawnmowers.
See?
Man, there's only one.
You see what I'm talking about?
But let me say it and tell me if this is old or not. Oh, shoot, I think it is. There's this company that I've been reaching out to because they make electric lawnmowers with batteries, right? And these batteries are actually really good. And I've always thought you need recreational things that run off these batteries. Yeah. We put the chainsaw battery and that little pink bike, souped up the power, but OEM, right? This lawnmower company that's on Home Depot made a little motorcycle that's powered on these batteries, and I want one and I want to hop it up. So I'm talking about it all the time. And our ad manager is like emailing them. Can't get a hold of these people. You think there's not a lot of opportunities to advertise your lawnmowers for free, which I'm willing to do if they send me these bikes before they come out? I mean...
I don't think that makes you sound old.
An old person would be like, oh yeah, the lawnmower has 20 more watts than this lawnmower at Home Depot.
I don't think they're old, Katie.
They're not old.
I think that they're like middle generation.
They are middle generation.
And you're young generation. And so I'm stuck in between young generation and middle generation. So I literally have nowhere to fit in.
Like, you have nowhere to go.
I'm stuck in this like limbo of like wanting to talk about Fortnite, but also like knowing too many things that are from the middle generation.
I play more Fortnite than you.
I know.
We've been getting into it recently.
I got my first dub in a long time.
Why did you guys re-download Fortnite
Because of you.
No, there you go.
okay
Okay, that's a young person thing to do.
who was the
pretty young.
first
But also
person to show
Fortnite-
Will pop smoke
Everyone hates Fortnite right now, unfortunately.
No, everyone loves
No,
Fortnite
they
right
liked
now.
it from not January, for a couple days
The
because they brought
original.
yeah when
down.
the OG came
But now
out
everyone's like, we don't care about it anymore.
yeah
Well, I'm just getting back into it, so if anyone wants to add me, Two Wheel Willie.
Do
I'm looking
not
for people to play
oh
with.
dude you're gonna get so
So
many
if you want to add me, I'm getting pretty good at the
Yeah.
game.
I put my Pokemon ID for Pokemon Go in a video once. I got a lot of friend requests. And I didn't realize that there was a limit to how many friends you can have, but by golly, there is. So if I haven't accepted your friend request, I'm sorry. I just don't have enough room for that at the moment.
Just know every day after work, I promise that I will accept everyone's friend requests. I want my friend pool on Xbox to exceed its limit.
There probably is a limit.
There probably
I bet
is,
streamers hit that all the time because
Yeah.
it says right there what your name is. So I always figured like streamers probably get mad.
Oh, yeah.
requests.
Every time they play, I'd imagine.
I know about Xbox streamers. How is that not youthful?
You're middle generation.
That's you're in the now still.
You're in the
I'll
now.
give you that. You're in the now still.
He's in the now more than I am.
But
I was like, Will, did you know that Legos are coming to Fortnite and it's like a reskin Minecraft? And he's like, huh?
see, he doesn't know about anything. When I talk to him
Yeah.
about it, he's just like, "What?"
I'm on a different timeline than you guys.
Well, it's
That's
because
what
the
I'm
only
saying.
thing he sees outside of what we talk about at work or what you talk about at home is Subarus on Instagram.
That's
I've
all
seen him
his
scroll his
Instagram
Instagram.
is just Subaru, one bike, Subaru. That's all it is.
Like, not even the occasional Supra.
No, there's nothing but Subarus. I'm like, how can a man love a car
Do
this
you guys
much?
want to know how I did that?
How is the algorithm good enough to know that
It's
you...
not. What you do is anytime you see anything different than a Subaru, you report the post.
what you do?
If it's like a Supra, like going, what, da, 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 I
I
just
think
go,
I-
report.
He
Why
got mad
does
at
he
me one
love him
time
so
because I
much?
liked a picture of another car, and he's like, "Don't do that, babe. You're gonna
Oh, it was
ruin it."
on his account?
Yeah, you're gonna ruin my algorithm.
You serious?
He got mad.
I kind of thought that was a front, honestly.
No, he's really committed to that.
Like, I know that he loves Subarus, but I thought he kind of like fronted it a little bit at work.
They're
die
better
hard.
than any car ever made. Literally.
He's
do you
so
think it is
convinced.
with Subarus?
I don't know what it is. Well, I kind of do, but
50-50 all-wheel drive. Rally history. Boxer engines. Reliable.
No. Straight to jail. That's 4.
Turbos installed. Pre-installed.
True.
Best looking car for 20 years award. Safest car.
For 20 years award, is that a
20
real
years
thing?
award.
In my books it is.
Oh,
Best looking car. Pre-installed hood scoop. Safety features built in. Best technology. Of any car in the early 2000s.
Can't you not get a Subaru with leather seats?
No, you can. You can, just not now.
Not an
anymore.
STI.
Yeah, no.
Well, they don't even have an STI.
Well, they do. Not anymore, yeah. But now you can. Because the leather seats got outplayed. But
I think there's something deeper here.
I think
'Cause
it's
he's
gotta
opened up
be.
a few times, and I think that there's something that like a Subaru.
I think a Subaru saved him from like a
it
dark time in
saved me
his
from
life.
a really dark time in my life. But they're also like very amazing cars. But Subaru, like, here's the thing, guys. Oh, some of my old friends know this about me. I used to be the #1 hater of Subarus. Like, ever. Like, I used to hate them so much that you would not believe.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
you only had rear-wheel drive cars.
Yep. And then one day I said, I hate these cars so much that I'm going to force myself to build them until I know every bolt on them.
It's like Batman going into the Batcave.
Yup.
Exactly
And
what it
so
is.
I worked on a couple Subarus, realized how easy they were, how fun they were, and how cool they were. And then it just like became a thing.
I think that really sums it up well to the wise words of Katy for the day.
Don't buy a Subaru.
It's horrible to hear.
And you came up with that on your own?
I did.
Will
Yup.
didn't tell you to
I
say
did
that?
not tell her to say that.
Those are my wise words.
You
horrible.
just saw like your joint financial future leaving the chat.
I don't think I ever want one with him.
That's actually a good, a lot of couples do that. Even like, if you guys were to get married someday or whatever, a lot of couples don't join finance.
It's just held over each other's head. I don't want that. I want my own money. I'm very weird about money, and
she's very independent.
I like having my own money. I don't like when people spend their money on me, because then they can use it against you, and I don't want that.
And this man will just use all of his on Subarus, and if it's joint,
yeah, go ahead.
He'll see your half of the money and be like, "Oh yeah, we can afford this."
Yeah. Yeah, he can spend his money on whatever he wants, but.
No. Yeah. Is there a reason behind your lack of Subaru?
I mean, I'm really not. I think they're cool cars. They're all right. It's just the constant oil leaking, the constant overheating, the constant broken downness, the constant head gasket. No other car ever has as many head gasket problems as a Subaru. No other car.
And Will finally, one day, I think it was because he was so sleep deprived and tired, when we were on the 100-mile challenge, I was like, hey man, please be real with me. I'm not an engineer. I've never torn apart a Subaru engine. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious why they're so unreliable. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, if you think about it, since the heads go out this way, even if they're not running or anything, the oil's just sitting on the head gasket all the time. Yep. That is a physics problem that's never going to get better. Never
will be changed. So they're always going to be horrible.
Yeah, but it usually is user error, and if you do put upgraded head gaskets in it, you'll probably get another 100,000.
You know how many cars are out there?
That far on a Subaru, dude. On your last car, you did it every other day, I swear.
Yeah, but that's because it was a little warped, but I didn't want to get it to the machine shop, so I just kept putting the heads back on. And I mean, head gaskets are cheap. They're like candy. You go to the store and you're like, hey man, I need another head gasket. They're like $5.
All right. Will's delusional. Katy's based in some form of reality. And that's the Sent and Bent podcast. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.